Time for a walk of shame around the Picker Palace. Sometimes people need to be shamed into action. So I'm going to walk around and take note of all the weeds that have been sprouting up around my house. Some of them are more pleasant looking than others. Yeah, this is indeed the most verdant weed bed ever. We tried to put lining and stuff to keep the weeds out of this particular area of the house. Nature finds a way. Well, that's not a weed. Here's the creeping death vines that entwine themselves in ugly bush every season. And if these things are not taken care of, they quickly grow out of control to the point where they're going into the basement and we can see the tendrils coming up through the sump pump area. Not good. That looks like an illicit plant. Anyway, speaking of illicit plants, as I take stock in my shame as I walk around the Picker Palace, oh my gosh, this fence, oh Lord. These berries would probably kill my kids. It's not very responsible at all. Oh, let's go back to the Mrgrrr mobile. As I was saying, and I interrupted myself, speaking of illicit substances, I just was at my Aunt Sue's house, who is the opposite of me with regards to landscaping and taking care of her yard. Her yard is just a phenomenal, beautiful, amazing place to be. It's wondrous. It's magical. Everything that grows there has a purpose. Everything that grows there has a story. My yard is a little bit better than it was last year. That's the bobbit. Because we have the garden now, and we have red tomatoes growing in there. I've eaten jalapenos. I've eaten some beet fronds on top of my skillet. So this is a good start. I call this Nanny's garden, and hopefully this is the heart that is going to start beating some pride into this Picker Palace that I live in. I talked to my dear neighbor Leonard, who lives in that house right there, about this particular tree right here. This is a buckthorn tree. And the buckthorn tree, well, it has, let me see if I can get the camera just right here, these absolutely lethal, super sharp, deadly barbs on there. These thorns are just absolutely super painful. Jumping on a trampoline and catching one of those in the face, that's a trip to the emergency room. And especially if you are a beloved canine companion named Thule, you do not want to step on one of these bad boys, because that's going to send you to the vet's office. It's going to hurt. So I talked to Leonard and I said, Leonard, you know what? This tree is growing on both sides of the fence. It's half on his side, it's half on my side. But man, I would love to take my Aunt Sue's bobbit, clip it off, and make it go away. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I thanked Aunt Sue for borrowing the bobbit. We sat on her porch swing today, and we had a kind of a shady, illicit transaction. I brought out a big wad of cash, $2 bills, of course. Got to have my $2 bills. And she handed me some illicit substances. After playing the game Dune last night with my friends, I think it's only appropriate that I paid some good money for the spice melange. Remember, whoever controls the spice controls the universe. I wonder if spice is a weed.